The iBuyer market itself is transitioning. So when you think about iBuying, when it really kicked off about 3 years ago, you had Open Door, Zillow got into it, OfferPad, and a couple of others that are no longer around. And it was a simple process. It was we buy, we reno, and we sell, right? And if they held a house beyond 90 days, it was much less profitable, right? Because they're holding the mortgage on that property. They tried to relate other products to it, like mortgage products, and thought about even having their own agents on board where they were paying someone a salary to be a real estate agent. What happened over that 3-year period is we discovered that it's not so easy to be an iBuyer. It's harder to make money than you think because prices fluctuate so much. But then what developed was what we're now calling the power buyer. So the model of iBuyer is shifting. So new companies like Homeward, Knock, Homelight, Orchard, Homey, there's a bunch of them. Anyways, what they've done is they've kept that traditional model, which allows the transaction of real estate directly with them. Cash offers, if you're willing to pay cash, there's all kinds of good stuff that's available to them, quick sale. But they've also built a relationship with the realtor community. So as a real estate agent who's fearful of trying to go get leads, I can now go to one of these iBuyer companies and they will pre-qualify the lead. So talk to the actual customer, the buyer or seller of their home, have the initial conversation, and then actually dial the phone and hook you up with this person. So at that point, all you have to do is basically discuss the transaction and when they want it to take place and the kind of the minute details.
So they're a partner.
They're essentially a partner, right? They're a competitor, but a partner as well. And what I've heard is that those programs are only going to evolve to be better and have better relationships with the real estate industry out there because it makes sense to them because they don't have the notaries or the other stuff. Now, the thing they've done exceptionally well compared to what I talked about before is Zillow and Open Door, their mortgage connectors when they were doing deals was about 3%. Whereas Homelights of the world and Homewards, they're connecting mortgages 35% of the time. So they're doing a very good job of promoting themselves. And if you look at the traffic, Zillow has always been number one, followed by Realtor.com and Redfin. Redfin has their own iBuying program, but you're seeing a shift in that to these new iBuyer, power buyer style organizations. They're getting much more weight from a traffic perspective. It's really interesting to see. So right now, if you look at iBuying across North America, they own about 1% to 2% of the marketplace, which you think is pretty small, right? When you think about the 5.8 million homes sold that we talked about before, it's still pretty small. Within 3 or 4 years, maybe 5 years, you're looking at them possibly holding 8% to 10% of the marketplace, if not more.
You think that's good for consumers?
I think it's great for the consumer. I think the market has been too limited in the past by powerful organizations, and now these other organizations built on the foundation of technology, which I'm the biggest fan of. So what you're going to get from me is that, for sure. If I had Gary Keller here sitting here, you'd probably get a different answer, right? So I think they are the number one topic. When I get approached to do speaking engagements or roundtables about the industry, it's often about Zillow and the iBuyers and the process. Zillow is out of the iBuying game. They failed at it miserably. They had the wrong pricing model, but I think they'll get back into it at one point.